I don't think
Probably was thinking about going.
Afternoon, everyone.
Carrie, I want to add.
What you?
Don't have on just make.
I heard what you were saying.
Are not regulated right now.
Then contributor Carrie.
What is up? All right, cool. What's up, people? How you doing? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black Show. Wow. Okay. Okay. All right, everybody. What's going on? You don't want to know. You don't want to know, Johnson. You don't want to know. Shout out to my man, Buck Bewley. How you doing, Buck? Hope everything's okay, man. Hope everything's going well. My man, Buck Bewley, he's moderating our chat room over here. Buck doing his thing. Thank you, Buck, sir. What's up to my people on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter? X. Let us talk about that X. Let us talk about the X. Who's here? Who tuned in? Who is in the house, man? Give it up to Tim Black's Wolfpack, man. Come on, y'all. Crazy kids, what's going on? I got my people in the house tonight. Yo. Tobias, Elizabeth, Wraith, Robert, Africa's King, Yvonne is in the house. We're in the house. Black man, but how you doing? Happy holidays, Casey McCoy, the whole crew. Happy holidays, everybody. Isaac, what's up, fam? Chi-Town in the house. Ivory. Dominique, what's up? I'm yelling, man. Why am I yelling like this? Got a mic? Why do you yell like this, Mr. Black? All right. Man, I'm trying to tell you, man. Okay. I ran across this clip, right? So I gotta include this clip, right? So I'm doing my regular stuff. And then I happened upon this clip by RFK Jr. And I said, I gotta put this in the show tonight. So I had to find the clip because it was hard to find, right? Turns out the clip's been out there for a long time. That's why it's hard to find. And people kind of try to probably want to get rid of it. They kind of want to bury that joint. Anyway, we're going to have a good show tonight. We're going to have some fun tonight. To quote my brother, Bill Duke, we're going to have some fun tonight. Oh, yeah. We're going to have some fun tonight. That's Predator for you kids. All right, so what's up, everybody? We're doing it live here on the Tim Black Show. Anybody that's new, anybody just came through, your first time here, the cost of admission is just your attention. I said the cost of your admission is your undivided attention. What we do here is we do U.S. politics, breaking news, and Black culture. Not necessarily in that order, but we try our best to put some of that in every one of our shows. Heavy dose of the real. Heard somebody today say, you can't do a show for Black people. Man, you know, I'm trying to tell you, man, we do a good show here. I think we do a good show here. And we got a great crowd of people, that's for damn sure. And we're going to keep doing what we're doing. And I'm very proud to represent, okay? Some people just want to condone their butt kissing. They want to condone their butt kissing. So look, guys, look. I got a couple news items I want to run past you just to bring you up to speed on the things you've been missing. What we try to do here is we try to give you an opinion that's bold, that doesn't pull punches, that's real. And man, I don't work for the Democrats or the Republicans. So don't come in here with that foolishness. I don't rock with either one of these parties. Neither party pays me. Their GOP doesn't pay. The party doesn't pay. The GOP doesn't pay. The Democrats don't pay. The DNC doesn't pay. Okay? All right. So let's just clear that up right away because people, I don't know what's wrong with them, man. Haka, I want to do my Kung Fu kick. I want to do my Taekwondo kick on these people, man. I don't know Japanese, but I don't know Japanese. I don't know Chinese, but I know Did you please? Anytime they disagree with you, man, you gotta, you taking money from somebody. Why? Because me and you disagree? Man, everybody disagree with your ass. Whole world's taking money if that's the case. Look at your shirt. Y'all ready, man? Let's get down to it. I don't know how long tonight's show will be, Buck. I cannot guarantee it. I cannot guarantee a lengthy show tonight, but I will do my best to deliver this. With no time constraints, right? It's only as long as it needs to be. Share this show out. What our goal is, though, folks, our goal is 500 likes per show. It's sort of an arbitrary number, but we think it might impact us on the algorithm. And the algorithm is king. Hit the like button. Let people know that you're watching the Tim Black Show right here from the D.C. metropolitan area, the nation's capital. Your brother, Tim Black, you Bammers. What's up, cuz? What's up, fool? Man. All right, so let's go, people. Well, since I already let the cat out the bag, let me start with the RFK clip. All right. I wonder if people care. So first of all, I went on a journey to find this clip because this is an old-ass clip. And I say, why is this clip coming up? This clip came up 6 months ago, but they didn't want to talk about it because they didn't want to give him no promotion. Okay? So, they didn't want to discuss this clip because it might have helped him. So I want to be very clear, man. It's a lot of people here, they say they do political commentary. I don't know if they're doing that because this is not a new clip. That goes to show you. I'm just saying, if they don't really do politics, they just do it because it's money. Oh, money. Oh, let me talk about this. So this clip I'm about to play you came out 6 months ago. It's one of the reasons why I did not support RFK Jr. Everybody talking about it now, just afraid he's going to get appointed by Trump. So everybody who's talking about it now are only talking about it for a political reason. And the reason why they're talking about it is they want to stop him and Trump. They want to throw something. They want to wedge. They want to find a way to get black people upset so they could weaponize black people against RFK Jr. They're hoping a person like Tim Black doesn't speak up and tell the truth. Then they're hoping if I do speak up, that you won't tell nobody. That you'll be dumb enough to call me a coon and a sellout for telling you this ain't nothing but politics. RFK Jr. is not qualified to tell black people anything about being black. But he may be qualified to try to help with our food supply. So let's run this clip. I'm going to come back to this point later. But it's important for us to move forward. Don't start trusting the gay peoples and the sheep herders for the Democratic Party. Not even because of what this dumb white man says. The dumb white man's about to say dumb things. White man things. Who don't know shit. A good white friend of mine yesterday hit me up just and said, Tim, I'm a big supporter of your show, man, and I love you, and I love your message, but I never really know what you go through, brother. I can't. I'm white. That's a smart white man. Now, I'm hoping let's go to this clip, let's run it. But I just want to put that on top in the beginning so people understand. We gotta stop being played. Let's go. Same old tap dance to Democrat shields.
Change that part of human nature. What you can do is you can make kids resilient against it. And the way you do that is by giving them a great education, so that they know that they have potential. And the other thing is to give them business models, role models, and opportunities within their own neighborhood.
Stop everything. First of all, I love Angela Stanton. I love her. I support that sister. I want you to look at the body language of the people in that room. That's not the security. Look at them. What is RFK Jr. talking about? Well, RFK Jr. is advising black people on racism and trying to help us better deal with racism. So I'm going to rewind it a little bit because it's kind of cut off in the beginning. This is the best I could get, okay? So now that's the context of what he says. He's talking about racism. He's saying, there ain't nothing we can do about racism. You got to rise above racism. Rise above it because ain't nothing we going to ever do to fix it. You got to be better. You got to beat racism. Like people have to beat cancer. You got to beat racism. All right, so here we go. Let's rewind it. Let's run it again. Share this with everybody. Share this clip. Hit like, share it. Anybody else gonna talk like this about this content? Trust me.
Human nature. What you can do is you can make kids resilient against it. And the way you do that is by giving them a great education so that they know that they have potential. And the other thing is to give them business models, role models, and opportunities within their own neighborhood. You know, black men who are running barbershops, who are running bars, who are running dance studios, who are running local businesses, restaurants, etc., and who are part of that community. And you know, when I was a kid, my uncle was the first Irish Catholic president of our country, and when he ran for president, there was a tremendous resurgence in anti-Catholic sentiment in this country, and a resurgence of the Ku Klux Klan. I remember crosses being burned when I was a kid against an anti-Catholic president. A lot of other, I was called.
Why is he talking? Why is RFK Jr. talking about this? Why can't nobody go over and get him? Why is no one stopping him from doing this to himself? This, my friends, is a tragedy. A travesty and a tragedy combined. In the middle, I kind of switch words. It's a travesty. Black people could run a barbershop. Fuck racism. You can run a barbershop. You ain't got to let racism win. You can own your own plumbing business. And you can work 18 hours a day and barely make minimum wage when it's all said and done because you can't get no investors and you got to use your regular old car. Look, man. Black Americans are not doing well in this country. RFK is not saying he's going to fight for you in this country to make that a difference, to make a difference in that. He's just going to tell you this, you know, you just need to be tough. Be tougher, toughen up. You know, toughen up. He's not going to fix nothing for you. It's impossible. It's unfixable. Racism is unfixable. Therefore, you got to just beat racism because, and that's it, man. You can go on a barbershop or nail shop or something.
A Mick, a mackerel snatcher, all these anti-Catholic slurs when I was a kid.
Being Catholic is not the same thing as being black. Nobody knows you're Catholic when they look at you, sir. You shut up, nobody know. I bet if I came on this show, didn't say nothing, didn't say the word black, you'd still know I was black. Now, that may work for me with some people. Yeah, it may work for me with some people. You know, they may be looking for a black commentator with a bald head, a loud voice, and a fancy sweater that didn't cost a lot of money, believe me. But this is foolishness, guys. Please keep in mind why this came out today. Why they talk about this, why they come out, why they Roland go on this rant, cursing and spitting at the camera as if they ain't never heard white people have bad ideas. about race. As if the Democrat ain't full of a bunch of white people with bad ideas about what to do about racism. You would have thought that Roland just found out there's white people with bad ideas. I mean, Roland, all you had to do is listen to Joe Biden talk about race if you want to really be upset. But I know you could not be upset when he talked, because then you wouldn't get them big checks. Would you, Roland? No. You want to be upset about race? You can start with your own party, sir. But I know. What aboutism? We talking about this that came out back in Black History Month. It's damn near 2025. We talking about a clip that came out and hit Black History Month in 2024. But okay, let's keep going, y'all. Let's keep going, because Roland wants to cuss and spit about what RFK Jr. is talking about, who ain't got no business talking about it at all. But let's go.
But it never bothered me. If somebody called me that, I would think that guy's got a problem. But I didn't think I have a problem. And that because I had a great education, I had a family who loved me, I had role models in my country, I had confidence in my own future. Oh, those kind of things had no impact on me. And that's the kind of resilience that we want to give.
RFK Jr. is 70 years old. He grew up in Jim Crow. Yeah, man, Jim Crow's a little bit different than some white guy calling you a Mick. This RFK Jr. is talking about growing up and somebody saying no Catholics allowed, no mix. Nobody knew it was Catholic unless they knew his family, unless they ran their mouth. Besides that, remember, we're talking about when people had to sit on the back of the bus, when black people, we were getting church bombings, when all types of horrible things and civil rights leaders were being shot in the head, we couldn't vote, we couldn't walk down the street without being harassed in some places. All these things were happening to black people. This guy's comparing the fact that somebody called him a Mick one time and he just didn't let it get to him because he had an education. So if we want to spend, we can spend some time, and I don't want to skip past it because we got to roast him. But I just want to put it in context, like he don't know what the hell he's talking about. And I'm looking at the black people in that room, and I'm wondering, why are these black people saying something? I see somebody looking down at their phone. These people are mystified. Like, I want this money, but Jesus, I didn't know he's going to be this dumb. I had no idea RFK Jr. was going to be this tone deaf on race. He come from the Kennedy family. I thought he knew something. Why is he this bad on race? Jesus Christ. Folks, a lot of people are bad on race, particularly white people that aren't white, that aren't black. And you know who also is bad on race? A lot of black people who with money. You know who's also bad on race? A lot of people that look like black Americans but are from other countries. They're bad on it too. So let's keep going, but I just want us, let's be mature about this. I'm about to hit you with some bangers. Let's go. Come on, Robert.
The black American children, so that they have so much confidence in their own future that when they do encounter the inevitable racism, that it will bounce off them, that they'll be, like the Avengers, they'll be immune to it.
Man, I know he said he did heroin when he was in something, or are you doing it now, sir? The Avengers is a cartoon, sir. There are no real Avengers. Racism doesn't bounce off. I mean, and look, guys, and this is important, guys, and we can go over this. Look, racism is not the problem. It's when you are discriminated against and you're unable to accomplish your goals in ways you might not even know. It's the job you don't get, but you don't know why. It's the approval for the loan you don't get, that no one says why. It's the lesser value for your property. It's not being able to acquire certain property. It's a lot of things, okay? But what we are not talking about, and what I think he's talking about, is a person's individual opinion of you. That, sir, ma'am, ladies, people, my people, family. That's not important to us. We beyond that. We're not on what some individual white person thinks about us. That's not the type of racism. We're talking about racism that affects departments, that affects hiring practices, that affects so many things, okay? So this is the usual don't know what he's talking about in white guy. He might actually think he means well. He wants to have a different take. I get it. He's saying the only way we can prepare black people is to get them fortified to deal with the world the way it is. One thing now, if Angela Stanton was saying this, that'd be different. If I'm saying that it's different because I have a shared experience with you, and I know of which I'm speaking of because I'm walking through that. Now, a rich black person who hasn't grown up a certain way might not even have the same grounds. They will be almost as bad as RFK Jr. But he clearly is out of his depth here. There are things I can't talk about without any authority because I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not in those shoes. He's not citing any statistics or any data. He's just talking. The man is just talking. You Trump supporters, stop jumping out the gym on this. He's wrong. He is wrong. I don't agree with Roland on a lot of stuff. All I know is about Roland's rant. I did not watch it. I know he was yelling and spitting and cursing, and I saw some goofy person say, Roland was right to cuss him out. Now, Roland feel the heat around the corner coming from some of us in the new black media. So Roland tries to score points with you with a lame layup. Somebody probably sent this to Roland because that's what they do. You won't be surprised. The white guys, the white boys send black guys content to do. Roland didn't go find this. Roland didn't do the work. Someone sent him this shit. I've seen others get sent stuff like the Bloomberg gotcha that Benjamin Dixon used. Because some of them white boys reached out to me before they reached out to Ben Dixon. Remember that a couple years ago when Bloomberg got sandbagged about the stop and frisk tapes and all that shit? Remember that? Well, some white boys picked that out. I think it was Klippenstein or whatever the names are. Yeah, they're the ones that uncovered that. Kyle Kalinske and those guys, they had it. They were like, what black guy can we give this to? Because we need somebody black to break this, to break the back of Bloomberg. And we don't want, be better if a black person did it. They reached out to me and then they reached out to Dixon. Dixon did it, not me. As you know. So this is the same thing that's going on with this particular tape with RFK Jr. This is a gotcha moment. It doesn't help us. All they're trying to do is shut him down because he's going up against the health companies. He's going up against the food manufacturers. Do you understand? Now, Roland won't say a fucking word about what's happening with our food and with those insulins and the vaccine shots, with the vaccines and all the vaccinations for the children. He won't ever discuss it. He won't discuss that or a healthcare system, what's happening with that, the corruption and the robbery and the thievery and all the other things that are plaguing the black community from that, because that comes from big-time donors that grease the palms of the Democratic Party. But he will talk shit about this unrelated topic that's a non-issue. RFK Jr. will not be president, okay? The election is over. This is a horrible display for RFK Jr., but it's a dumb white guy display. Something that when you get beyond, you out your depth, you had no reason speaking on something, you don't know what you're talking about, you can't read the room. Every black person in this room with RFK Jr., all of these people here, they're all saying the same things without saying nothing. They're all saying, shut up. Their eyes are all saying it. Even the security guard in the back is like, what the hell is this dude talking about? But RFK can't read the room. He don't have a rhythm. He don't know the energy. So I'm not defending him in any way. If anybody says I'm defending him, you are a damn liar. I'm not defending RFK Jr. But what I'm saying, what he's trying to do with this Make America Healthy Again is a good thing. I would hate to see that destroyed by operatives of the Democratic Party who put this out here to try to discredit him in a non-related thing, a non-related issue. Now, if somebody would have challenged RFK Jr., got in his face and told him what it is, do you think I would have challenged him? I would have challenged him. Challenged him and said, man, you don't know what you're talking about. This is bullshit. And you need to have a strong person, a strong black man or a black woman address this issue. We don't need you doing this. You need to sit down and learn. But nobody was able to do that. And if they were, he probably fired there. I don't see him. Maybe they tried. I'm not going to say they didn't try. I can't imagine Angela Stanton standing for this shit long. Her last name is Stanton, but I don't think she would have stood for this without a pushback. She didn't run the campaign. She's just a person in it. Now, once again, this is how the Democratic Party operates. They're trying to, this is a hit job. This is a hit piece on RFK Jr. And you got to decide how much you give a shit. Why they put this out here? To stop the bleeding of black people leaving? Why? Because some white guy told black people some things that were true. You ain't fixing racism. We're trying to mitigate it. We're trying to mitigate it. That's true. He ain't the messenger. He ain't got the right tone. And he ain't talking about nothing that they're going to try to do to mitigate it. That's the problem. But he's right. The Democrats coming out here selling you a bill of goods, talking all this bullshit about Joyful Warrior and all this nonsense, that ain't helping either. That ain't helping either. It just creates a whole industry, a cottage industry of people making money off what we call race hustling. They're not really doing anything for black people other than symbolism and picking up checks. That's Roland Martin. That's what Roland Martin does. And y'all confuse activity for actual progress. It ain't progress. That don't mean RFK's right. He's wrong as hell. He wrong as two left shoes. And I don't know why he jumped out there. That's on him. Let's keep going.
That they'll be, like the Avengers, they'll be immune to it. And then we don't have to stop racism altogether, because we're never going to be able to do that. But we can have children that are not affected by it.
Jesus Christ. Racism is a problem. And it's not, you can't say you won't be affected by it. Are you affected by the weather? He's saying if it's cold outside, put on a coat. Then it won't affect you. You're still affected by it. There's things you can't do in the cold that you can do when it's sunny out. Okay? Maybe you could say do your best to not be destroyed by it. But we're talking on one side, we're talking about mentality. The other thing, we're talking about accomplishing. We're talking about goals and ambition. Folks, the worst thing about racism in America's historical legacy with racism, in my opinion, is the financial impact on the earning potential of black people and their families. Everyone is not Denzel. Everyone is not Paul Robeson. Everyone is not Obama. What about regular people? Everybody can't be an Avenger, Goofy. Okay? Everyone's not going to be an Avenger. Some people are regular people. Most people are regular people. That's what makes the extraordinary people extraordinary. Okay? You can't tell black people you got to be extraordinary. Hell, you don't tell white people that. You got to be extraordinary. Some of them are just as ordinary as hell if you talk to them and treat them like they're extraordinary. So anyway, once again, we can pick apart RFK on this issue all day. Everybody can feast on the bones of RFK as he gets destroyed. We can roast him and warm our hands to the fire. But it won't change the fact this ain't nothing but a hit job on a guy who's not running for president, for a guy that's now trying to do a different job which is something that's going to help, hopefully, the food that we put in our bodies and make them meet certain standards. Can you imagine the millions of dollars that are going to be behind stopping him from doing that? Do you want to be on the side of the people that are trying to stop him from doing that? Now, unless he says something like, I want to poison black people. I want to stop black people from achieving. I want to do everything I can to thwart black people. Then we got an issue. But if he ain't saying that, if all he has is a bunch of bad ideas on how we supposed to cope, and it sounds cowardly coming from him, particularly at Kennedy, this does not age well, then we ain't really talking about nothing, because the job he's supposed to be looking at doing, or he's been appointed for, is a job to make America healthier, more healthy, by the food choices, by the foods that are able to be put on our shelves. And I think that's an important issue. Everybody didn't get fat all of a sudden from nothing. Okay, so what I don't want us to be is I don't want us to be sheep herded by a bunch of lousy sellouts who are doing the bidding of the Democratic Party.
That don't internalize it, that don't see it as their problem. They see it as the person whose racist problem. I'm going to say this, a lot of the liberal energy to deal with racism, systemic racism in this country, has been directed at trying to make people so they're not racist anymore, through education.
We're not trying to make people not be racism anymore. We're trying to make people have repercussions for their racism when it's put into action. It doesn't matter what your personal bias is unless it hurts other people. Okay? You don't get it at all. This is what happened when you're rich, wealthy, living in a bubble, in rarefied spaces, not around working class black people, or even working class white people. I think there's some working class white people that be listening to this and be like, you shouldn't have said that. They're working class white people that's listening to this shit and going, I don't know everything. I may not know all the members of the Spinners, but I know this was not a good look. You don't even got to be black to call this out. You know, you can tell when something's off. This is like eating potato salad and riding the bus in the summer with the windows up. The AC broke. Something's off. Y'all want to keep going? All right, let's keep going. Jesus Christ.
And through sanctions, through cancellation, whatever, and all of these things are important. But I would say that we're never going to eliminate racism. We are hardwired from the 20,000 generations that humanity...
He keeps saying the same thing. He started off by saying that, and it's really cowardly. All those muscles and no courage. It's sad, RFK. Real talk, man. Now I know why you didn't come on the show, because I would have gave your ass the business. And I guess them hip-hop podcasts you go on, they ain't had no heart, because I'm sure this came out before they had you on. They all sitting around googly-eyed. He a Kennedy. He a Kennedy. Yeah, he's somebody who don't know what they're talking about. This guy expects kids to be more courageous than grown-ass people. And since when does America tell white people, white kids, to just get over stuff? When's the last time I even heard that? Shit. All these damn support groups, security blankets, and security dogs, and all. This is a culture of everybody on medication. They can't even deal with their own thoughts, let alone deal with external forces that are calling them names and belittling them in demeaning them for something they couldn't possibly control. The color of their skin. And this guy, his way of saying his workaround is just be bigger and stronger than that. And that sounds good, but it's not going to inoculate you to the problems of it, okay? That's all it is. It's not going to inoculate you. But at the end of the day, we all had to just overcome. But from a person that's going into government, a person asking for votes, you should have a little bit more up your sleeve then. Do more sit-ups. You should have something more up your sleeve than you need to work better on. You need to be more able to take punches. Talk about cancel culture. Once again, we ain't talking about somebody saying the N-word in front of a Walmart. We're talking about structural problems that stop people from excelling. We're talking about environmental racism where they dump their trash and their garbage in these areas that they call Cancer Row, like in Alabama, where they purposely put toxins, dump toxins places, and now the cancer rate is 10 times more than other towns because of environmental injustice, and that's where poor people live, particularly poor Black people. These are the types of things, no matter how resilient you are, no matter how many times you wake up and look in the mirror and go, I'm Black and I'm the best, and I'm Black and I'm the best. I don't care what nobody think about me. Like that doesn't protect you from the toxic chemicals that were put in the ground from the manufacturing company that instead of its disposing of it properly, could just save money putting it in the ground and then it seeps into the water. That is something that government has to take on. That's not something an individual might not even know it's happening and not be able to stop. So, it's very cowardly and lame for a person that wants to run for office. Only comeback is, we need to make sure you get an education. Then you'll be able to fight. You know, we got a lot of unemployed people with college degrees right now looking for jobs, driving Uber, working Instacart and Uber and Amazon with 2 degrees. What are you talking about? That's not solving everything. This guy's stuck in the 60s. He's stuck in the 60s. But like I said, this is not what I want to do. I don't want to go on a long rant about how wrong he is. That's easy. We all know he's wrong. We all know RFK Jr. is wrong. But here, guys, here goes something. Why are the people that are pointing out this video, which I also agree is atrocious, it's horrible, it doesn't even have to age well. It was spoiled when you opened it. It was spoiled in the package before you prepared it. These remarks, they turned before you started cooking with them. The ingredients are bad. But let me ask you this. The people that are reporting on this, why weren't they talking about Joe Biden and the Biden administration? Why aren't you talking about the people in power that aren't doing much better for us than this shit? You know, what are you doing? Where was the criticism for Biden on conference calls, Zoom calls, telling black folks, activists, and civil rights advocates and whatnot, you need to be quiet because pretty soon you need to deal with the Latinos. They get bigger than you. You got to deal with them. You need to shut up. Where was your smoke for him? Where was your smoke for old Jim Crow Joe? Quiet then, huh? See, that's what I'm saying. That's why they don't want to speak truth to power. They want to speak truth to people that aren't in power and then make it a feast to get a bunch of claps from people. And at the end of the day, what does it help? What's it for? You always got to look at what the outcome's for. In fact, this guy, RFK, he didn't just go here. I saw when I was getting this clip together, I saw he said this a couple places. You know, like he went here. Here he is.
You can't eliminate racism by telling people don't be racist. what you can do is we can make our kids resilient. When I was a kid, I was.
See, it's his spiel. It's almost word for word what he said in the other video. He thought this was a great tact because he didn't want to be the guy, didn't want to be up here preaching to black people about how he gonna help fix race relations. Nah, I'm not my bro, I'm not my dad, I'm not my, I'm not my uncle, I'm me, and we don't need to be talking about race. We just need to be making sure you get to go to school so that you can have a good life, even though you're black. That's what we need to do. Because these are the people, and it's a backhanded way to put this shit. It really is. Other people think the same thing, they just never say it. They ain't gonna fix nothing, they ain't even gonna try. What they do is they do stuff like Ketanji Brown Jackson. Over there, look at her, ain't that great? Yay! Okay, now y'all, her put these boxes away. Go back to doing the jobs you were doing. And you get back in the jail cell over there where you was at. You go back in that horrible neighborhood where everybody's life expectancy is low as shit. Yeah, you go back to doing that. But yeah, look over here though. Look what I got for you. Ketanji, there you go, Ketanji. All right now, how's your husband? All right, see him at the golf course. All right. And that's what we're dealing with. And I'm trying to tell you, a lot of these people don't have much better ideas than this. This is sort of like what it is. And I guess he thought he was being innovative by coming out and saying it. Look, guys, we ain't going to fix it. I'm not going to lie to you like my party usually lies. They lie and tell you they're going to fix something. They ain't going to fix nothing. We need to just make sure you have a good person, a good constitution so that you can withstand whatever's thrown at you, so that you can just push through. It really does not sound that foreign to what my parents told me, but he ain't my parents. He ain't black. He hasn't run up against racism and decided, hey guys, look, we got to find a way to get this paper anyway. It just rolls off differently when somebody of the culture is telling you, giving advice, particularly controversial advice like this. Because people want to hear that you're going to fight for them, not that you want them to fight harder individually for themselves against invisible systems and problems and attitudes that they can't even predict are going to come around the corner. It's just crazy. And it's right. What person can knock down that shit for you? Probably nobody. And if that's the case, what's the point of having a Democratic Party? What's the point of black people voting for it 95% of the time? Why did 92% of black women vote for a party? They ain't gonna fix shit. So he thought he was being innovative, cutting edge, bleeding edge, actually. But ain't nobody want to hear that. They don't want to hear it. And if someone black says it, even if some black people think it's cool, the rest are going to call him a sellout. They're going to call him Tim Scott. They're going to say he's Byron Donalds. Because they would rather be sold to bill of goods by the Democratic Party. And all I'm telling you is they don't have our best interests at heart. Let's talk about the money. Is he ever going to get to the money part?
It was my uncle was running for president. He was the first Irish Catholic president. And
oh God, now I got to hear about him being Catholic again. What happened to the Catholics? Were they allowed to get money? Yeah, they were. So I don't want to hear this. This ain't the same thing. Were Catholics I don't know what happened to what happened in America to Catholics? Did they come get Catholics and put them in? Did they put them in boats and drag them here? Did they force to sterilize them? What happened? They infected them with tuberculosis? What they do? I didn't see the dogs sicked on them. Were there freedom rides for Catholics? I don't know. But anyway, did they go through 100 years of Jim Crow or something? No. So stop talking, but stop comparing your affliction, Stop comparing your conditions to someone else's condition. If someone here has diabetes, and I say, well, one time I had a cold, right? You know what I'm saying? You on insulin every day or you die? Well, look, I had a cold one time, right? I got sinus problem. I have a sinus problem, and it's real talk, man. I take sometimes I gotta, that's for my sinus, Whew, God, this is a pain in the ass having to do this all the time. You know what I'm saying? I get tired of doing that. So I know exactly how you feel. You guys sit there, how long? 3 hours on the insulin machine? Oh my God. I mean, it take me almost 3 seconds to do that. When they come up with something better than this? When they gonna come up with something better than this? It took me almost 3 seconds to sniff this thing. See? 1, 2. Yeah, that's just too much time, man. I got other things to do. See how stupid that sounds, RFK Jr.? That's how you sounded, man. Now, this is what I'm hoping. And I'm going to get off this and go back to doing some other content. We ain't going to stay here all day. Look, RFK Jr. was way out of pocket by doing this. This was ill-advised. I don't know who was helping him run his campaign. Now I know why it was kind of hard to find these clips. Lord have mercy, bury them deep. Dig a hole. Put these videos in the hole. Then set fire to the hole. Then drop a drone, set a drone strike on the hole. Then bury it with put on top of it, put as much dirt as possible. Then, because this is horrible. But what RFK Jr. is trying to do now, my understanding is what he's trying to do now is make us more healthy. He wants to do something for the kids. He wants his legacy to be helping kids live better lives through the food that they eat, and to make sure that they're more healthy when it comes to the medications and the vaccines that they take. I think that's a noble idea, okay? I think that's a noble pursuit, and I support that. He is up against even the idea of going up against the food industry, going up against big pharma. Like, this guy's taking on a lot. And when I see people come out, and I'm not talking about every commentator, but with certain political operatives like Roland Martin come out and they're really making a big noise about this when this is 6, 7 months, 8 months old, damn near a year old tape. And it's just a bunch of bad, I'm a rich white guy, don't know what I'm talking about, bad talking points. I mean, it's not as offensive as Roland wants it to be. I mean, out of touch, white people have dumb thoughts about race. Who knew? Who knew? But if you belong to a party that's full of people with out of touch thoughts about race, why are you acting so damn surprised? You should be used to it by now. All right, guys. Next story. Hit the like button if that made any sense to you. I hope it did. I hope it did. I hope it did. Someone said, Tim Black, you are the anti-Roland Martin. I'll take that. I'll wear that because I am. Yeah, Roland, you got to do a little bit more. Roland, you got to do a little bit more to get that stink off you from that $350,000, which I'm pretty sure is the most you've ever taken, that you've ever raked in for ads on your content. Okay? So, in that softball interview you gave Kamala Harris, followed by the softball interview you gave that other Tiffany Henry. So it's gonna be a minute. When I find out, when we do our investigation and we determine if you took money also from Tiffany Henry, maybe you ran some ads for her as well. I got a feeling you did. We know what you're doing, Roland. You might want to talk to me. I mean, or you could just let the wrecking ball come wreck. Good day to you, sir. All right, let's go on to the next topic, everybody. Now, I like straight shooters. I like straight shooters, man. Don't you like straight shooters? Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Kamala Harris and Tim Walz held a I don't know what this was, a Zoom call. Yeah, they talked for the first time since losing the election as a couple or as a team. They talked to on a Zoom to their supporters about the campaign. Let's talk about it.
To everyone who's on the call, I can't express my deep gratitude to you. Personally, of being on this ticket was the privilege of a lifetime to be with Vice President Harris. But as an American, to see you out there and to see the work that you did, to know that you put your heart, your soul, your time, your talent, your treasure into something bigger than yourselves, the promise of this country, a place where everyone belongs, where no one needs to go hungry or be unsheltered, and where differences of opinion can be celebrated and differences of ideas. And
that's why I cannot stand Tim Walz. I can't stand his flowery bullshit talk. Americans, 60% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. You wouldn't know that by listening to Tim Walz recite this goofy-ass storyline that does not have any place in reality. It's like they paint these pictures that are maniacal, fantastical, that only a person delusional would paint about a world that we do not have, and talk about these aspirations to create this thing, and none of the actual plans that they have will create this utopia. Instead of dealing with the hard facts of where we are, what's going on, and what's really pissing people off, what's really got people behind the eight ball, what's really making the struggle, what the struggle is really about. Instead, we get this guy come up here with this flowery nonsense that helps no one. And then they call it being joyful and positive. Notice the people that say it's joyful and positive are people that already have money. The people that came up with this are already living well. They're not thinking about the people that aren't living well. Once again, 60% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. We have 40% of the homeless rate of Black people. 50% of homeless families are Black Americans. And we got this guy talking about we want a world that doesn't have this, and doesn't have that, and doesn't have the other thing. Yeah, but that's not the world we have, is it, Tim? Tim, that ain't the world we got, is it, Tim? You dodged the bullet with this guy and a bunch of goofies that want to live in fantasy land and not tackle the actual problems, actually come up with solutions, not what we want, not this visionary nonsense. Your vision, the only vision that we should have wanted from Tim Walz, and you get to go, get along, guys, should have wanted was him to have a vision of how we're going to deal with problems. Not him have this overarching vision, this wild vision, this soaring vision of how the world should be. Yeah, I should be 6'5", 185, and not a blemish with a full head of hair. But I ain't, Tim. I'm 6 foot, 250, 5. And some gray and some best men and no hair. Okay? And that's what it is. What are we going to do with this, sir? And that's what, and see, that's when, that's the reality. And that's sort of like where America is. America is not. America's not Idris Elba, it's Tim Black. A little bit more from him, then we get to Kamala.
And you put that out there and you worked hard for it. And for that, I am forever grateful. I also recognize the emotions you're going through. And I share those with you. As the vice president often says, we weren't running against something, we were running for something. And
bull crap. I want to keep the monetization on this video if possible. You know what I'm trying to say. He said they weren't running against something, we're running towards something. Folks, I love y'all, man. And I ain't going to lie to y'all 1 minute, not 1 second. I may be wrong, but I'm not lying. Anytime I say, look, there are times I'm wrong, but I'm never lying, okay? There's a difference. I'm not wrong about this, and I'm not lying either. Check this out. Kamala raised $1.4 million. I'm sorry, $1.4 billion. Kamala Harris campaign. That campaign raised $1.4 billion. That money was not for Kamala. It was to stop Trump. It's the same type of energy that was around for Biden. Biden didn't get the most votes of any other presidential candidate from either party. He got the most votes for anybody running against Donald Trump, the most vilified person on the ballot ever. That's what they were running on. They were running against Trump. They were running against Hitler. They were running against the orange, evil menace to society. That's what they were running against. This is a lie. Tim Walz is a liar. He's a bad liar at that. He's not just a goof or a knucklehead. He's a liar. There was not a clear vision of what their presidency or what their team was going to bring to America. The main thing was, we got to stop Trump. Their whole thing was, we got to save democracy. From what? Trump. That was their whole idea. That was their motto. And then to get up here and say this, guys, come on, man. I hope no one's buying it. If you buy it, go get a refund. They owe you a refund. It's a class action suit to refund you from the stupidity of their campaign. Let's keep going, guys.
Watch the joy, the vision, the compassion, the decency that the vice president brought to.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you. Back at you, brother. You are such an extraordinary leader, and we have become lifelong friends. But you are an extraordinary leader, and obviously the people of Minnesota are very, very lucky to have you there. But you are a national leader. And
what is she talking? Nothing's changed. You mean to tell me you guys really don't know why she lost? You really can't figure this out. Did you hear her? You're an extraordinary leader. You're extraordinary. You're such a leader. You're such a leader. And the people of Minnesota are so, because you're so extraordinary.
a dear friend, and thank you. Noel, thank you for your work in Pennsylvania and all that you did for our campaign. And let me just say to everyone on this call, I am so grateful for you. And I'm so thankful to you. I
got to raise my profile without putting any skin in the game. I didn't do a good job at all. It was a waste of time. But we spent a lot of money that didn't come out of my pocket. And thank you very much. And now I'm a household name, and maybe I can run in 2028 and lose again. Or something like that.
Thankful for your love of our country and your willingness to put the work into it. I'm thankful for the faith that you put in me and Governor Walz and our team. And I am thankful because I know your character is such that you're not going to get knocked down. And you're in this fight. And you're in it for all the right reasons. And I know that about you.
Yeah, Kamala Harris is going off book. Oh, look out. Words sounded everywhere. Clean up those aisles. 2, 6, 4, 3, 5, 1. Did I say 2? 2. All the aisles. Silence everywhere. Are we still trying to figure out why Kamala Harris lost? Are we positive? Are you supporters of Kamala? Are you still positive it was all the uterus? The baby making parts caused this? Are you 100% sure that the only thing holding her back was she's a woman? That's your story. When you listen, are you listening with your ears or with your eyes or fingers? How do you, when you hear, I'm really trying to understand, because when I listen to her, I hear nothing that makes sense, nothing that's cohesive. I don't feel moved. I don't feel inspired. I don't feel challenged. I don't feel anything positive. I don't feel like she's a leader. I don't know what it is. Is it just that she's light brown skin and has brown highlights in her hair? Like, what is it? Really? I just want to know, man. Be honest with me. I'm trying to I want to feel what you feel. Here's the thing, guys. I would love, look, I want to be inspired. I want somebody to inspire me. I want somebody to motivate me. I want someone to motivate my granddaughters, my son. I want to feel good about something. Tell me what I'm missing. Help me see this greatness that you see within this woman. Because it's got to be, you're willing to, people are literally ripping apart their families. You know what? I don't even think it's about her. I think it's about what you're afraid Trump's going to do to the country. You've been you've been built up on that so much. It ain't about Kamala. That's why you can't say it. Because there is no there. You don't really have anything to tell me to move me into the direction of Kamala. You just tell me things to move me away from Donald Trump. That has to be it, guys, because I'm listening. Even if I can bear down, like passing a Rubik's Cube sized kidney stone. And if I could just get past it, the bad past, the horrible work she did as Attorney General, the horrible work as a prosecutor. If I can slide the jab on the horribleness of the flip-flopping and their stances, I'm still not left with anything. Help me understand what it is. Help all of us understand. We have people that are losing their marriages, people that are not talking to their parents, and people just like division in families over this person? Really?
It's why you're part of this call right now and all the work that you did over those 107 days and even before. That's your nature. And the outcome of this election obviously is not what we wanted. It is not what we worked so hard for. But I am proud of the race we ran. And your role in this was critical. What we did in 107 days was unprecedented.
Yeah, you spent $1.4 billion in 100 days. And for that, you got no swing states. You lost the popular vote and the electoral college. You lost ground with Latinos, Blacks, young people, women, all demographics. You fail with virtually every demographic, every constituency. It's not just Black men, it's Latino men. It's not just Latino men, it's young people. It's not just young people of all colors, it's women. Biden won women by 12, 15 points. You won her by 6. That's a drop. And you have a uterus. Kamala Harris is a real patriot. You know what she would have done? When they called her up, when Joe Biden decided he wanted to stick it to Obama, and he wanted to say, screw you, you want to push me out? I'm going to make you have to take Kamala. Because that's what he did. You guys know that, right? Obama did not want Kamala to be the nominee. Neither did Nancy Pelosi. That's why it took them so long to get behind her. Remember? But if she was a true patriot and cared about her country, and she wasn't so greedy, she wasn't so careerist, she wasn't so looking for the next opportunity to be pushed into something, to be able to be given something, she would have said, hey, thank you, Joe, for thinking of me. And I understand you don't think that you're up to doing another 4 years, but I don't think I'm the person for this job. I know who I am. And this I am not. This is too big a moment. We need to hold that primary, Joe. Let's hold the primary. Let me step up. Let me step up and be gracious. You're being gracious by bowing out. Let me be gracious and admit my limitations. Let me be gracious and admit I'd be punching above my weight class. But she didn't do that. You know when you want to hear that? A commentary like that from anybody on the Roland Martin Network, anyone on MSNBC, maybe somebody occasionally on CNN. Hell, not even Scott Jennings and sure Michael Singleton will say that. And they're Republicans.
Think about the coalition that we built, and we were so intentional about that. You would hear me talk about it all the time. Being a daughter of parents who are active in the civil rights movement, I know and believe the most in presidential campaign history. Nearly 8 million donors contributed in our campaign. Because of your efforts, get this, we raised an historic $1.4 billion, almost $1.5 billion from grassroots supporters alone.
And guess what? We spent almost $1.5 billion and plus $200 million in the red to win nothing, to lose the House, the Senate, everything. But look at me. Everybody knows me now. So thank you for making me popular, even if it is infamously. I got to go hang out with D.L. Hughley and hang out with Steve. Oh, I love Steve. And I got to go do things, and things were done, and we had a good time. And Liz Cheney, oh, bless her, just her heart. Liz Cheney is so amazing. Oh, it was a good time. Doug and I will always remember that time we spent $1.5 billion in my marketing plan for me to become known. Thanks.
The most in presidential campaign history. Nearly 8 million donors contributed an average donation of about $56 to fuel our people-powered campaign.
And then I gave Oprah money, I gave Steve money, I gave Roland money, I gave Ricky money, I gave Uncle Luke money, I gave that girl that does the podcast. I don't even remember her name. That's bad. I don't remember her name. I gave so many people money. And then all my friends got money. Everyone was making money and everybody was just free money. I mean, it wasn't free. I mean, it was your money, but I mean, you gave it to me, so it was my money, and I gave it to them, and now it's their money. And what's money? Money is not important. Michelle taught us that. Money doesn't matter. I mean, it's good to have, and that's Michelle and Barack have a lot of it. I mean, President Obama has a lot of it. And we will continue to. I'm speaking. I'm spending. You know, folks, we dodged the bullet. Not unlike Neo. You dodged the Kamala Harris bullet. Yep, it was aimed right for your foreheads, and you would have had to listen to that for the next 4 years. So I'm glad she didn't win. I believe that Kamala Harris was the lesser candidate and the greater evil. That's what I believe, and I think that things happened the way they happened for a reason. Because she sucked. Because, and not to mention the Democrats, their brains in the toilet anyway. Don't get it twisted. I can't think of a Democrat that I would have felt assured that they were going to be able to do this job anyway, because, yeah, this was a long time coming. This should have happened. It's amazing that Biden was able to beat Trump in 2020. So I look at it like this is just to make up for that, because the brand was so toast after Obama, who went in there and didn't do anything for Black Americans, that it was like, So I'm surprised that, that women came out, but I guess, enough Kool-Aid from the Democratic Party and you'll do anything. Anyway, you could be upset about Kamala losing, and you have to walk that off, but I'm trying to tell you, I believe we dodged the bullet. Let's see if Trump can keep us out of World War III. And if he does, I think it'll be a successful presidency. Can't have babies if you're dead due to nuclear fallout. Just a thought. I figure since everyone's shooting this shit and just talking, we throw that in there. Don't need body autonomy when you don't have a body because it's been obliterated by nuclear holocaust. Because you kept poking the Russian bear and he hit a button. You know? And Kamala being a nice fallout shelter. Look at this. All right, guys, let's keep going. I got a couple things. Hit the like button if you like the content so far, folks. This is a Tim Black Show. We do this every damn day. 9:30-ish p.m. We're a little bit late tonight because, well, I had to go find that clip of RFK Jr. Couldn't go without that. Become a member of the Tim Black Show by going to patreon.com, Tim's Take Live. Do it today. Become a member. Join me as a VIP member right here on Facebook, or actually on YouTube. Got a lot of cool VIP members, man. Man, I support you guys. You support me. It's amazing what we're doing here. I want to thank you for being behind a brother while he's trying to get this done. Hopefully, we can make more progress. You know, not everybody is delusional as Tim Walz. Not everyone. But there are some people that are trying. Yeah, they are. They're trying to be delusional. They're doing a good job at it. I got a video here. Let me go find the video. Kamala Harris's staff. Yeah, I have that. I hope that I have that here. Damn it, I don't have that here. I have to have that here. Come on, Johnson. The Kamala Harris staff video. Hold on, folks. I'm going to go get that video because it's too important not to include. Give me 2 seconds. I'll go get that. Well, actually, let's do this. While we do that, hey, I do have this. If you are not a member of the Tim Black Show, become a member. Yeah, go ahead and become a member, man. You right here at the door of becoming a member of the Tim Black Show. Go ahead and do it. Go to patreon.com, Tim's Take Live. Become a member. Buy me 1 cup of coffee a month. And we good. We good. I'll shut up after that. Okay? I'll shut up and roast these Democrats after that. We'll get to the truth of this. That's hilarious, guys. I forgot I had that. That's a pretty good clip. Okay, here we go. Kamala Harris's campaign staff were on this podcast. And they had some things to say about some things they were griping about that didn't go their way. These are the people that helped Kamala Harris spend $1.5 billion. Here they go.
Hey, I mean, look, I am not media hater by any measure. And I think that, we women don't get far in life talking about double standards. So that's not the point. But I do think a narrative, 107 days, 2 weeks fucked up because of a hurricane, 2 weeks talking about how she didn't do interviews, which, you know, she was doing plenty, but we were doing in our own way. We had to, you know, be the nominee, had to find a running mate.
You didn't notice you only had 100 days when you took the job? Did you also know you had $1 billion when you started? Was it 500 million? Not everybody starts with that either, right? Okay, just checking. Because it sounds like you got a lot of excuses. Now you're going to have to tell us about how the media didn't treat you well? This is going to be fun.
And do interviews, which, you know, but I do think a narrative, 107 days, 2 weeks fucked up because of a hurricane, 2 weeks talking about how she didn't do interviews, which, you know, she was doing plenty, but we were doing in our own way. We had to, you know, be the nominee, had to find a running mate and do a rollout. I mean, there was all these things that you kind of want to factor in, but real people heard in some way that we were not going to have interviews, which was both not true and also so counter to any kind of standard that was put on Trump that I think that was a problem. And then on top of that, we would do an interview, and to Stephanie's point, the questions were small and processy and about like
dumb.
They were not informing a voter who was trying to listen to learn more or to understand. And I'm not here to say that you know, the whole system was focused on us incorrectly. I'm just saying, like, again, of the things we need to explore as we move forward as a campaign and as a country, that does a disservice to voters. And, you know, I think back and think we should have signaled more of our strategy early on about podcasts and who we were trying to reach. But we had a limited amount of time to reach the people we were trying to reach, and we were trying to go to them. But being up against a narrative that we weren't doing anything or we were afraid to have interviews is completely bullshit, and also like took hold a little bit. And we just gave us another thing we had to fight back for that Trump never had to worry about.
Pluff.
Okay. This is Rich. I don't know who she is. She should never work in politics again. I'm just saying, it was horrible. First of all, they knew they had 107 days because they could count. Calendar didn't move on their ass. The elections are the same time every election. So you knew that going in, and you should have planned for the type of time frame you were under. Okay? And if that was going to be a problem, maybe you don't take that job. Maybe just say, hey, it is what it is. 2 weeks interviews, no interviews. Yeah, interviews sucked. And to blame the interviewer for your lack of pushing an issue on an agenda, folks, half the time when Kamala was talking, she wasn't answering questions. She was saying whatever she wanted to say, which was her prerogative every time she talked. Every time she spoke, she was answering whatever questions she wanted. I know this woman can't come out here and say the truth. And the truth is, Kamala Harris is just a bad candidate. She's not good on her feet. She wasn't good at improv and what she needed to improv. And if you gave her talking points that were outside the questions, it was her job to say, hey, okay, I know what you asked me and I'm going to answer that, but let me tell you this. And that's a very easy segue into whatever the hell you want to be talking about. But your policy wonky stuff that you say would have done it weren't going to work if people didn't trust, believe in, or think that Kamala Harris was a great leader. They had to believe that. And people weren't buying into that. There were people that were predisposed. There were people that thought they wanted her to be these things because they disliked Trump so much. But Kamala stunk so bad, they went with him anyway. Let that sink in. There were people that did not like Trump, but they went with him anyway because Kamala was so bad they couldn't subject their children to her nonsense. That's how bad Kamala Harris was. That's how bad a race you guys ran. You literally, if you burnt $100 bill every 10 seconds, you probably would have more money left after 100 days than what you have now, which is negative $20 million. So you can't come on any podcast. All of these lames and these goofies would allow you to come on this podcast and make this about the people. And Lord, I know you're not going to compare Kamala Harris to Trump. Trump was a known entity. He'd been president before. He's done 10 times more rallies, 10 times more interviews, way more media than Kamala Harris has done. You know it. Everyone knows it. This is bullshit. The guy has all this stage time. You don't. So you can't compare the two. People knew who Trump was. He was just president. And he's Trump. It must be nice to go on interviews and podcasts when the person that's interviewing you doesn't do anything. No pushback, no response, no retort, nothing. Just let you say dumb shit. Trump didn't do interviews. He did enough interviews. And when you say dumb questions, hell, man, any question that Kamala answered or any answer that Kamala gave was a dumb answer. Who was the Einstein? Who was the bright lady out of your bunch that had Kamala go on The View and not have an answer for what you're going to do different? That was a dumb question. Really? Sunny Hoskins' question was dumb. That was a basic softball question. Sort of like, hey, we're about to hire you. Tell us something that's not so great about yourself. If you had one area to work on, what would it be? Kamala basically was like, I'm too great. I'm just too great. There's nothing. I'm just a person that I just want to do so well that sometimes I over prepare because I'm really focused on being good and great. So basically, I'm too good is what my answer is. Like me? No, no one likes that. Anyway, now my retort, my response to her questions, or to her answer, to her complaints. Remember, that was people that worked on the Kamala Harris campaign. You thought I was tough. You thought I was hitting them. You thought I was blistering. You ain't heard nothing yet.
President was thinking about going on Joe Rogan's show. The vice president was thinking about going on Joe Rogan's show. And a lot of the younger progressive staffers pitched a hissy fit. Supposedly the campaign said that that wasn't the term de facto, but they did. When you put a campaign together and you hire young people to do work, let me tell you exactly what you tell these people, what I would tell them. Not only am I not interested in your fucking opinion, I'm not even going to call you by your name. You're 23 years old. I don't really give a shit what you think. And let me tell you another huge error, huge fucking error this made, is when people said campaigns need to reflect progressive values. No, they don't. No, they don't. Campaigns are authoritarian by their nature. And if I were running a 2028 campaign and I had some little snot-nosed 23-year-old saying, I'm going to resign if you don't do this, not only would I fire that motherfucker on the spot, I would find out who hired them and fire that person on the spot. I'm really not interested in your uninformed, stupid, jackass opinion as to whether you go on Joe Rogan or not.
Yeah, man, there's yeah, I say he pretty much left it all on the field. Yeah, you told her not to do Rogan? 5 million people saw that podcast he did with Donald Trump. You told her, these assholes told her not to do Joe Rogan podcast. Because it's not the people that we want to reach. It sends the wrong message to our progressive voters. You know what sent the wrong message to your progressive voters? When you flip-flopped on every progressive policy that you were supposed to stand for. That probably sent the wrong message to your progressive voters. You left progressive voters back in 2020. Why were you trying to have it both ways? It's just beyond me. It's completely stupid. James Carville's right. Shut your ass up. You don't know what you're talking about. You haven't done it before. And look, it was going to be I believe it was going to be a hard task for anybody to achieve. Kamala definitely was not helped by having a bunch of morons making her look schizophrenic out there, joint. Bipolar and schizophrenic and an alcoholic all at the same time. It's not a good mix. Pick an ailment. Pick a condition and stick with it. We'll take one. Trump is probably a narcissist or something. We'll take one. But you can't be everything everywhere all at once. And that's what Kamala Harris was. So thank you, James Carville, for putting it your way. Yeah. He said he not only would he fire that person that told him not to go to Joe Rogan podcast, he fired a person that told him to hire that person. I love it. It's yeah. Get rid of him. And it's good to see, man. Like, what's happening right now? There are people that are standing up. James Carville stands up. Once again, I can have a conversation with James Carville. We probably won't agree on a lot, but the things we do agree on, will we ever agree? Because I don't carry water for none of these damn parties. Not a single one of them. That's why the platforms I'm trying to go on, they got to be platforms where people can allow that they will not be afraid. There's got a lot of cowards. They don't really want people to say anything real. So that's why, so James Carville, if you want to come on the Tim Black Show, you got an open invite. Open invitation, sir. Because I know you are going to be honest about how you feel about whatever. Which is a lot more than I could say for the standard issue Democrat. All right. Let's go, guys. Now, this is something right here. Hit the like button and let the algorithm know that the Tim Black Show is live. We're doing our thing. And, let people know that you're watching the show here. It'd be really important. Let's get to 500 likes on the old algorithm. Let them know, hey. Yeah. How we doing, Buck? How we doing on time, Buck? We doing okay on time, Buck? Arlene Chambers, Black Mamba, Yvonne, Africa's King, Tobias, Robert Downton, Tyler. What's going on? Casey McCoy, Sassy D, Malcolm Rex, Undisputed Truth, We Create Signs. Just making sure you guys are there. Check this out, guys. I was watching the clip from CNN. There was a CNN segment that was interesting to me. They were complaining about Elon Musk. What is it with Elon Musk? He's become like this person. Everyone's going after this guy. Everybody hates him. I'm not here to defend him, but they had a whole segment about this guy. It seems, or a large portion of this segment is about Elon Musk and about Twitter, X, and it's just crazy. So we got to cover this. It just seems a little strange. Here you go. It's strange.
Carrie, I want to ask you about this idea of media takeover because after Elon Musk purchased Twitter, changed it into X. There's no doubt that he exercised some power there. So how do you hear this even in jest kind of purchase of a cable network?
Good to be with you tonight.
Good to be with you as well.
Thanks for having me. I think that we should believe everything that is said coming from this administration. I don't think that we have the luxury to dismiss it as him being someone who's being funny or someone who is just being himself or that is his brand. X, and you said in some ways, always. I feel like X, I don't know if anyone is on it in any capacity. I don't know if you're on it. You're the only one? You're on it? You all are on it? Okay. I've actually decided to take a rest of peace because it is not a peaceful place for me. And I know if, in fact, you don't agree with this current administration, most people can say that it's not a peaceful place. I would not, I wouldn't be surprised.
It's a social media site. It's a social media site, man. It's not a peaceful place. Folks, right now, current champion. There are children being blown to smithereens. The people being tortured and executed in Sudan, Gaza, and several other places around the globe. Blown to bits and pieces. And we got you up here talking about a social media platform being too violent for you. How we get these black people, man? Where we get it? Where'd they come from? Where'd this brand of black people come from? You know, like, really? Oh, but you're the resistance. You're the resistance. You're the resistance. You know what you are? You are the most recent recipient of the sports writer to political commentator starter pack Black Woman Kit edition. You don't have anything new to add to the conversation. You're going to repeat all the same narratives. You're going to maintain status quo. You will not be innovative, thoughtful, go outside the lines of the usual talking points of the Democratic Party. You will toe the line and be a very, very dutiful participant and employee of all things DNC. And right in line with that, here you go with this BS about, oh my God, conservatives have voices too. It's just pathetic, man. That's all. It's pathetic. And it's sad that these are the people that want to be the leaders, the next generation of leaders. No, you're the next generation of criers. You are crying. The Jamel Hill, Joy Reid branch of babyfication of blackness. I don't get it, man. We're supposed to be tougher than this. Maybe we do need to give an RFK Jr. type speech to some of these people. Maybe I ought to give it instead of Van Lathan giving these long, bloated defenses of Juicy Smollett. How about that? These talking points. Just because you use a lot of words don't mean you're saying. Just because you use a lot of words doesn't mean you are saying shit that matters. Okay? Let's keep going, folks.
If there was an actual bid made to take on MSNBC, but the fact that it just can't happen in real life.
And we just can't. It's not even for sale.
It's not officially for sale.
The last time he mused about maybe buying something,
it's not even realistic in real life. But I do believe that media, everyone sitting here at this table, if you don't agree, we are in for some tough. We're in for some tough years ahead. I do believe that we are not going to be able to be as safe or say what we want to. I don't think free speech is.
What? We're not going to be as free to say what we want. We think free speech is what? What are you talking about? Oh, you're going to be just fine. It's the rest of us. It's the dissenting voices from the neoliberal bullshit that will have a problem. You've never been censored. What platform were you kicked off from when you were censored? What algorithms are you fighting? What shadow banning has neoliberals, liberals, whatever this is, whatever you are, not progressive? Come on, you write about sports. What shadow banning, what blocking, what censorship has the sports writer, current champion, endured? Someone deleted your tweet? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Be specific. What time, what day, what tweet was taken down of yours? What social media post of yours was deplatformed?
Going to be as free.
Now, Scott, I want to bring you in here because this kind of link to Orban, we don't pull it from nowhere. There was a former member of the Hungarian parliament who was writing in Politico who kind of talked about this effort by that government and how specific it was in terms of purchasing media specifically for propaganda. Do you hear why they're making that connection?
I mean, is the concern that certain media outlets would become propaganda arms of political ideologies? I mean, don't we already have that in this country at a large scale? I mean, also, I heard what you're saying about X. I saw a survey this week. It's now the most ideologically balanced user platform.
Scott,
of any
stop,
platform.
stop. It's too early. I just
I
sat
know.
down. I've
You're
only
gonna-
been here for 2
you're gonna
minutes.
be
You
embarrassed
cannot
when I tweet
continue
out
to
after
say.
the show, but
You
it's true.
cannot say that.
So-
Who's not the case?
So
Who's
what
the
I-
source?
Source of that.
What I find, we reported it on this network.
I saw it. I reported it as well. And it's still, liberals are still up on like a point. It's like 48 to 47 or something. Yeah, X is a balanced platform. It's not, it's more conservative than Facebook, but it's not overly. It's like not even 50-50, sister. Yeah, you're just hearing from conservatives. You're not used to hearing from them because they're always censored, Goofy. Yeah, they're always censored, so you're not used to seeing them. It's like when you get a car, right? And you thought it was like you're the only one with that car. You haven't seen a lot. But now that you have it, you see it everywhere. That's sort of what X is. Yeah, one time you think there was a lot of conservatives, and then you go to X, and you'll start seeing them a lot because that's where they are. That's where the conservatives are able to talk. But if you go to Truth Social or you go to Rumble, yeah, now that's right wing. That's more of an alternative than, like, come on, you're talking about Instagram and Facebook? Nah, they don't have a problem with censorship because, they got a problem when they get censored. They don't have a problem with ideology. They got a problem with it's at their own ideology that they see. It's still just talking like safe spaces and shit. Curry Champion is about 50 years old. How you gonna be 50 still talking about safe spaces? Like, what are we doing here? What's going on, man? Like these are talking points. She's not even like in the third person, like other people feel this way. Some young people feel this way. I would entertain it. She's talking like it's her experience.
It's not accurate, and you know it.
Okay, I'll let you make your
Scott,
statement.
can I
but my
think of
point
it?
is
Can I
this.
reframe it a different way? Because the site changed radically, right? So whether you think the voices it is somehow more balanced now, that's fine. But no doubt Musk's influence is profound, and that you open it up and now you're there with his opinion, and he is now part of this administration. So does anyone else think that there should be this greater concern about billionaires purchasing media companies?
Okay. Would you be worried if Bill Gates controlled MSNBC?
No, because he's sane.
Because MS in MSNBC
it was MS.
comes from Microsoft. It was a partnership between Microsoft and NBC way back in the 1990s, back when Microsoft was under investigation by Bill Clinton's DOJ for monopoly. I don't remember anybody panicking over MSNBC back then.
No, they definitely did. But yeah, continue. Well, like Fox was launching, MSNBC was
And it's
launching.
still
The
here.
cable news network was shifting.
Yeah, but he's right though. His point is accurate. Is that the problem is coming in because you don't like Elon Musk. It is saying because he's not. You say he's sane. I don't know Bill Gates at all. I don't think any billionaire is sane, actually. Yeah, I don't think any billionaire is really sane. Like, if you mean like whatever normal is. I mean, they got the type of money that just, it's the things that Bill Gates is accused of doing, that's just that cool. What about George Soros? These guys are maniacs. Like, they're talking like Elon Musk is the only billionaire in the world. Bloomberg is just a stop and frisk guy. What about all the other billionaires? There's a lot of billionaires in America doing a lot of things, but the only one they care about is Elon Musk because he has X. What about all the other social media platforms he doesn't have? Who runs them? And most of those are left, or I should say, centrist or liberal leaning, or afraid of the Democratic Party. That might even be a better way to put it. Under the thumb of the Democrats or somehow associated with the Democrats. That's what they are.
Landscape.
But isn't the issue that the left has gotten so used to controlling almost all institutional information distribution arms in this country that when one little piece of it, whether it's X or MSNBC or anything else, gets taken away, the panic is so outrageous. I mean, that's how used to the left is having control of.
Yeah, it's like a temper tantrum. Look at her face. Her mouth is open like flies are flying through. It's the truth. That's what this all is. It's one platform. And you're so upset because you can't control this one platform. There's still Facebook. There's still YouTube. YouTube is more to the progressive. Well, not to the progressive. I keep saying progressive. Everything's not progressive, okay? More to the liberal side of the house, okay? And I don't hear you complaining about that. Know what I'm saying? This is what it is. Hell, half the large language models are leaning towards the left. You know how hard it got to be for me to like frame my content that's like critical of the Democrats? I sometimes got to lie to the algorithm like I'm talking about Trump just for them to like correct something or to edit something with using these AI tools because it's so biased for you guys. That's one of the reasons why I say you guys are the greater evil. Because you got more control. You got more mechanisms. You got more oversight. That's part of the problem. And Kerry, I'm disappointed, man. I really am. I'm disappointed.
I don't think that that's an accurate assessment when you look at something like Sinclair Broadcasting Group that has purchased most of the local newspapers and local television stations and sends out distributed information that their anchors are supposed to follow for the correspondence. That is a conservative leaning group. I think the difference, though, I'm not siding with Elon Musk at all here.
Ashley, how many radio stations? How many radio stations did Soros buy recently? I heard it was 200. Let me get this right. Soros just bought 200 radio stations. Elon has one social media platform that he paid through the nose for. That everyone said, I say it's going to tank. It ain't going to be successful. You advertisers flee. They fleed away from it. They flew. They flew from it. They fleed. I guess fleed's a word. They left. And somehow he was able to right the ship. He had to charge people. And I'm not defending him. But yeah, I am kind of because it's one platform in a sea of other platforms that are not that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to let her finish, but Soros has 200 radio stations. And I don't think you said anything, Ashley. I don't think you and Carrie and other lady had anything to say. Oh, because he's sane, right? Him sane.
The one thing to point out is that platforms are not regulated right now, which gives them carte blanche to whatever they want right now. Elon is not someone who likes to be regulated. And so to buy MSN, he would go under some federal regulations.
Who's regulating CNN right now?
The FCC.
We're not a broadcast. It's cable.
I mean, I don't really think cable stations are under the same regulatory structure
doesn't go over public airwaves.
that broadcast is.
It's definitely regulated more than the.
Oops! Didn't know what you were talking about, but we're talking, sister. That's true. Ain't no FCC guidelines on cable news media. They set their own parameters of what they will allow and what they won't allow. That's what it is. Social media is supposed to be the wild, wild west, baby. Unless it's somehow inciting violence, chill and go to another website. You just want to control the people that are on there. You don't want them even just having conversations that you can't control and govern. Can you imagine that? Bunch of old-ass sellouts. Young, old sellouts. How you going to be young and a sellout at the same damn time? Why can't you just go to a platform you'd rather be in? Yeah.
Than Facebook and
There's
Twitter.
still, what she's saying is that there's still a litmus test of journalism that you have to pass. You can't
That you
come on
don't
TV.
have.
That's what she's saying. Oh, thank you, Curry. This telepathy, this mind talking. I didn't know, man. I thought you were just a great sports writer. I had no idea that you could read minds. You know what someone's saying, even if they're not saying it. You're all right with me, man. I misjudged you. I thought you were a regular human being. You actually have the ability of telepathy. Impressive.
And just make up things and say things. That happens on X. Please don't give me the eyebrow furrow as if you don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, look at this. Oh, God. Hey, look. Hey, nothing for nothing. Not the best look. That's a CNN contributor, huh? You're not the best look. Don't give you the eyebrow furrow. Yeah, she's trying to antagonize him and get him to say something in response that she can then start crying like Angela Rye and try to get him off the air. And these people are dirty, man. That's dirty. He can't make facial expressions. I saw her like this. Nothing was said. No one said, hey, close your mouth. Why are you looking so shocked? Why are you looking so bewildered? Like what I'm saying is impossible, implausible. No one said that shit, but she can, and people will say, so what? She's just sassy. I like her. You go, girl. You told him. See, that I don't like. I do not like. I think that's a double standard. But people get to get saucy with you, and if you come back and get saucy, then I'm a victim. That's what happens.
It happens often on X. I can go and say the color is blue, and I will be met with so many disrespect.
People don't like Democrats right now. Live with it. They don't like Democrats. Block them. Blocker. You know how many people I've had to block? Had to block a bunch of Tim, he don't like whatever thing. I forget. Anything. Just complaining and nagging. Go watch what you want to watch. I'm not forcing you to watch this program. I'm not forcing you to agree with me. I'm no shit like that. I'm not invading your space. It's the algorithm. I'm not doing it. But this right here, we can't have. Look, man, I might respond to something you say. If you put out a tweet, this is how this works. If you put out a tweet on Twitter and people respond to it and you don't like the way they respond, maybe you should have put the tweet out. Maybe you should leave. But guess what? If you're on Instagram, if you're on TikTok, if you put out a piece of content and people see it, because that's why you put it out. It's not like people are hacking your computer to find out your thoughts. Unlike you, we're not telepathic. We can't get into people's minds and know what they're thinking like you, Carrie. So that means you put out your thoughts into the world. If some of the people that respond disagree with you, okay, you're supposed to go, good. I'm getting more exposure. That's what I do. I go, good. People are talking about it. That's why I put it out. You're supposed to put out content and thoughts in today's age on social, not just for people to agree with you, but to start a conversation. When I start a poll and I ask questions, when I put out my video content, this live stream is not for everybody to agree with me. Now, if they're going to spend the whole time in the comment section calling me names, well, Buck's going to throw them out. But if they just disagree, Buck doesn't kick them. He doesn't throw you out because you disagree. Only if you spend the whole time dragging my ass. That's how we run our shit. That's how we love Buck. But back to you, Carrie, and back to everyone watching, man. If you're on social media, it's the Wild Wild West. That's a good thing. You'll find your tribe. Carrie wants to be a CNN contributor. She is a CNN contributor. She has a huge platform. Some people are going to disagree. I disagree with her. I should be able to say what I disagree about. She should be able to say she disagrees or ignore me like they mostly do. because they are afraid I'll get bigger. They're afraid people will listen to me, so they won't respond. You don't think Roland hasn't heard me roasting his ass? Yes. His fear is if you feed the animals get bigger. If you put out content, people get to respond. That's the rule.
Respectful remarks. No one's regulating the N-word. No one's regulating.
Oh, God. Hell, we need to regulate the N-word our damn selves. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want a bunch of white guys running around on my content talking to me saying the N-word. But you can regulate the N-word. If someone calls you that, you can hit that thing or report them and get their ass kicked off the platform. That's your job. What you want a bunch of people going around looking for other people using the N-word? Some people use the N-word in conversation, Carrie. Some people just say it. Jesus, man, these people are I'm really becoming an opposition to the normie Democrats, man. They are horrible, man. They are seriously horrible. Now she wants everybody regulated. That's a talking point of Democrats who can't hack it, who just lost an election. That's bitterness. That's busted up feelings. That's soft cookie cutter, crumb cake, snowflake mentality. Losing an election, now the whole world got to change. All because people didn't want Kamala.
The criticism, no one is regulating how people are treated.
How much government regulation of the First Amendment are you for?
Let me tell you something.
All of it, until she's comfortable, until no one says anything that makes her upset. So let her tell you something. I'm speaking.
Here and I just started calling you all kind of names. Do you think the bosses would let me continue to do that?
I mean, it happens to me occasionally. I don't know if you watch the show.
It doesn't happen to you, but it doesn't happen for me. And I know that I wouldn't be able to do that. There's a level of professionalism in what we do here because we are journalists.
But you know, social media is not CNN, goofy. It's apps made by individual people for the public. Why would you want to pretend like you go into a house party and going, where's the bouncers? Where's the people parking my valet in my car? You at a house party, goofy. Where's your red cup? It's a bring your own beer. Bring your own date. Park at your own risk. That's what it is. Why are you acting like you don't understand? That's because that money. That's because your career opportunities dictate that you don't understand. Ain't that right? How much more of this we got, guys?
We adhere to something, at least morally, and there is no moral compass on this thing called
You're also having a conversation about a person who has the ear of the White House in a very profound way, and you have had the former president, the president-elect, talking about yanking licenses, right, as part of the broader Republican argument.
If you disagree.
Oh, you mean because they doctored that you mean that interview that was doctored by CBS 60 Minutes? You mean that interview where they changed Kamala's answer to reflect a different response to a different answer because her original answer was long, convoluted, mess, and jumbled, gnarled, word salad, utterly disgusting, unappetizing dish of random auto parts and debris instead of a coherent message that made sense that people could follow that would actually help her get elected or actually put her favorable in the public eye. You mean that? You mean that 60 Minutes? That CBS? You mean that? Huh? That what you referring to? The collusion between media and the Democratic Party to make their nominee look better when she was sounding horrible? You mean that? And then put it out? Edit the clip and put it out? That's not a difference of opinion. That's journalistic integrity. That's really to the point you were making earlier. But now it won't apply, will it? Now it won't apply because it doesn't help your argument. Now you're going to defend the news entity that did not follow journalistic ethics because Trump called it out. And you can't ever agree with Trump, even when he's right. Trump can come in here and say, hey guys, it's 12:15. You go, no, it's not. That's a racist watch you have on your arm, and that time is racist, and you hate women, and you hate black people, and you hate the time. Because you have to. Because that's the dictation. That's what's been dictated by the Democratic Party. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's pathetic. So what's frustrating for me, and hopefully one day I can get to let it fall off like Scott Jennings lets that shit roll off. I need to be like that, Joe. Honestly, I need to just let a player play, and let a liar lie, and let the gaslighter light gases or pass gases, whatever you're gonna do. I need to get better at that because, frankly, guys, like you know what I'm saying, life's too short, and their lives are too tall, and I don't have the strength. But I can tell you this, guys. I can tell you that what they're cooking here is garbage. We do not need more regulation. And they're only talking about it because they lost. They'd have been quiet. Now they want to blame everything. Now they blame X for Kamala losing. They don't blame her for burning through $1.5 billion, her campaign, for not going on platforms that invited her. They invited her on that platform. They gave her an invitation. She turned down an opportunity to speak to millions of people towards the end of an election. And this she wants to come out and say how I like good work. We love good work. Good work is good work. Hard work is good work. You wouldn't even go on a podcast to reach millions of people while you burn through all that damn money. But hard work is good work. Not that kind of work. I don't want to do the work that puts me in front of millions of people for free. No, I don't want that. I want the type of hard work. What kind of work do you really want? And so because of all the shortcomings of the Kamala Harris campaign, now we got to listen to this shit. Man, I liked it when Trump lost, not because he lost, but we didn't have to hear shit. Yeah, whenever Democrats lose, we got to hear a bunch of whining for at least 2 years. It's going to be continuous lying and gaslighting and finger pointing all the way up into the midterms. Because Lord knows they cannot admit wrong. Lord knows they cannot accept responsibility for their own failures. I'm still waiting for them to blame Russia and China. I know it's coming. That bus is always on time. They're probably already doing it. I'm just not paying enough attention. Folks, we're on the right side. That's all I can say. You and I, we're on the right side. Neither. The people's side. The truth. And whoever's saying truth, that's the side I'm on. I ain't got to agree with them politically. I ain't got to want to have a beer with them. We ain't got to sing songs together. We ain't got to even like the same tacos. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. I may want my crab steamed. They would want theirs boiled. That's a travesty. That is sacrilegious. I can't believe you did that. But it's blasphemous. But hey, to each his own. Crab balls, if you watch it, you're like, man, that brother don't know what he's missing. Anyway, look, we're on the right side of justice. Let's stay there. Don't cave in. Keep up the fight. All right, guys, let's go to the comment section. See what my people said, man. What a night, Joe. What a night. Revelator. RFK didn't do us any favors with that speech. No, he did not. As the descendant of slavery living abroad, I have no problem with mass deportations. A lot of immigrants are anti-black. Squall Leonhardt. Black Mamba said, super sticker, Tim. Black Mamba says, I learned a lot watching your channel, Tim, and I appreciate the growing knowledge. It's important. Thank you, Mamba. Trust no party. Glad I found this channel. Spit the truth. Trying to fail. Super sticker. Hey, what a night. Man, these clips are going to be on fire. These clips are going to be on fire when I put this stuff out, Johnson. How many likes did we get? Did everybody hit the like button for brother? Don't forget, go to patreon.com. Tips take Loud to become a member. Hit the like button. Let the algorithm know this was a good show. I had a great time doing this. It feels good to have a weight lifted. I ain't competing against nobody but myself. And I'm beating the brakes off myself. All right. Have a great evening. All right, guys. Like I always say, don't let anybody take your cornbread. Keep hope alive. Fight, fight, fight. That's it. All right, guys. Thank you. Hey, Buck, thank you, my brother. I hope all is well, Buck.
And contributor Carrie Champion joins us in our fifth seat.
Gives them carte blanche to whatever they want right now. Elon is not someone who likes to be regulated. And so to buy MSN, he would go under some federal regulations.
Who's regulating CNN right now?
The FCC.
We're not a broadcast. It's cable.
I mean, I don't really think cable stations are under the same reg.
Whatever, man. Oh, God. Where my girls at, man? Where my ladies at? My grandbaby's birthday. She's 6 years old. I love you, Neilani. Wow. Princess.